Hi everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, back again with another 15 minutes of fame, making someone else famous around the world. This particular chap here, I don't need to make him famous. He's already famous enough. However, I hope I'll be able to contribute in some small way. Let me talk to you about a gentleman, and he is a real gentleman, Michael Palmer. And he got under the role of senior business advisor. And he's done that to a lot of people, guys, all around the world. So it's Michael Palmer Consulting, and he helps small, medium, and large businesses in most industries, guys. So he's certainly worthwhile reaching out to. If you've got an issue, Mike's a troubleshooter, and he can probably solve it for you. And if he can't, I'll guarantee he'll know someone who can. He's been in the industry for only a short time, just 50 years, guys. Imagine what you'd learn in 50 years. This gentleman's probably forgotten more than most of us know. He could write the handbooks. So moving on from that, basically, a brief description, he's been working with small, medium, and large business owners to grow, scale, finance, buy, sell, and operate their businesses for them on some occasions in the service construction, the NDIS, education, and manufacturing centres. His key achievements or projects, he was managing rural properties while the owners were absent. They probably didn't want to come back. He was probably doing a better job than what they were. And then working with Australian subsidiaries of 3 international pharmaceutical companies, leading to an offer based in Berlin to commercialise the technology worldwide, as he's now done in Australia. Worked with hundreds of small business owners over the 50 years, including many with a multi-million-dollar turnover, and helped them grow their business by up to $1 million. Successfully applied for $4 million in government grants and business community, foundation chairperson of the Australian Organic Institute from Queensland under the auspices of the Queensland government. Personal motto. Let's have a look at this one. This will be an interesting one. I believe in personal and business integrity. That's a key word, that word integrity, respect and dignity for everybody. Right, I won't tell you the rest of it at this stage. Mike's going to tell us that. I believe in an attitude of gratitude and the better than stinking thinking. I was going to say striking. I like that one, stinking thinking, guys. When you wake up with stinking thinking, change your attitude and quick. Believe in lifelong learning, both in business and in personal. It's my great pleasure to introduce this gentleman from Queensland, Australia, Mr. Michael Palmer. How are you, Michael?
Very well, thank you, Jeff.
Wonderful.
That's a fabulous introduction. Thank you. I wish I'd written it.
Yeah, well, it looks pretty good. You send me. Don't forget to send me the check. Anyway, can you tell me about the journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path, my friend?
When I was 11, I visited family friends on a farm at Wagga Wagga in southern New South Wales.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of shearing, which is the busiest time of the year, the father, Lyle, his name was, sat me down on the steps of the shearing shed for half an hour and talked farming and agriculture and life on the land and everything. And I was absolutely inspired.
Yep.
We have no agriculture background, like his history in the family, but they were family friends, and he took the time. And I never ever wanted to do anything else except be a farm management consultant from age 11.
Fantastic.
And because we didn't have any connections, I went to university and did agricultural science at Sydney University.
Mm-hmm.
There was no career advice then, but it turned out that it would have been better for me to go to the University of New England, Armidale, New South Wales.
Yes, where it was, yeah.
For my career, but anyway, I did Sydney.
Yeah, well, a lot of the learning you can do these days, Mike, and you've done it all your life with good old common sense, takes you a hell of a long way, right?
Yes.
Tell me, what's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome it over the years?
The most challenging thing was the fact that my father was a successful businessman. He was a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
But we never talked about money. We never talked about business. He saw his role as being a provider, and he was a very good provider. but he was a very poor, emotional father.
Yeah. Poor
And-
communicator,
and
by the sound of it.
because that's what he thought his role was, and he did it very well.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mum actually had a bank account. My dad used to bring home money from the till
Yep.
at the chemist shop and give Mum the money that she needed, and there was always enough. We weren't rich, but there was always enough.
Yeah. Back in the day. Yeah.
And that led me to a money mindset
Mm.
that I didn't value money.
Mm.
And that was a really bad scene, and it was because I had no background with money or cash or anything.
Yes.
And I started working with an agricultural degree and 100% enthusiasm, but no business experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost me a lot of money.
Well, yeah.
I made a really, really big mistake in the early days because I went into a partnership with some people
Mm-hmm.
who had written the partnership agreement,
Yep.
and I signed it without any due diligence.
Yep.
And they walked away from the partnership, and I had to repay the loan well over $300,000
Yeah.
at high interest rates.
Yeah. It's called integrity, boys and girls. You know, and a lot
Yes.
of people don't have it. In fact, a lot of people wouldn't be able to spell it, let alone have it. Tell us an important moment in your career that virtually changed your direction in general, Mike.
Just before I do,
Mm.
so these days I talk a lot to people about their money mindset.
Yes.
And encourage them to think, what is their money mindset? Do they have a scarcity mindset?
Mm.
Because they were told that money doesn't grow on trees and we can't afford that.
Right.
And we are poor, and the family's always been poor, and we will always be poor, and
Yep.
things like that parents say. But an abundance money mindset is much better.
Absolutely.
And I still talk about that, even though it's
Well, it's
on the
very,
personal
well, it's
side.
very, it's very, very important. I had a motivational speaker when I was about 8. When I used to go to school, it was my stepfather, and he'd come in every day and get me up ready for school, and he'd comb my hair, and I got a big pep talk for the day to get me going, and he'd say to me, "Shit, you're an ugly kid." And I got that every day, right? And then worse, I had glasses, so I'd go to school, I'd get bashed up for being, as Michael will tell you, for being 4 eyes back in the day. So I used to hide my glasses so I couldn't see the blackboard at school. I went through hell. So, guys, you know,
Yes.
every man's got a story, and there's some good stories there, guys. Come out the other end.
And parents have got a lot to answer for.
Absolutely.
So an important moment is I worked in the country for a long time.
Yep.
And contracted to various businesses in the rural industry. And the company I was working for at the time, there was three sons between me and the top job.
Wow.
In the companies.
So you're fourth
in line. There was no chance of me being promoted, and I was ambitious, and it really got to me. So one day, these guys turned up from Sydney on a sales trip to sell to the company I was working for, and one of them said, "Bart Gannon sends his regards."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, thank you very much. That's nice." I had no idea in the world who Bart Gannon was.
Mm-hmm.
But I had apparently made a job application to him sometime before, and he'd remembered. Anyway, that went on, and I finished up with a position in the agricultural chemicals business in Sydney, working for UK pharmaceutical companies. And that was a major turning point, because that was the first time I had access to what it was called then real marketing,
Yeah.
compared to what you do, it was not real marketing. But
Yeah. Tell me, when did you stop? When did you stop working for idiots and start working for a lunatic and start working for yourself? When did that come about?
90. The first year of my employment was, I mean, the second year I worked for myself.
Fantastic. Yeah.
A couple of positions, paid salary positions along the way.
Yeah.
But I got serious about self-employment in 1982.
Yeah. Then the bill started coming. You realise you got to pay. You got to pay the power bill. You got to pay the rent. You got to pay for the company car.
Yes.
Not easy, is it?
No.
But it's a lot of fun. You know, I wouldn't have you and I wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
We would not.
Tell me, what are the key qualities or skills that you believe have contributed to your success apart from your integrity and your determination, Mike? What do you think's contributed to your success over the years?
Well, that is, of course, the most important thing has been my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've made lots of mistakes and everything, but I've got up and dusted off and got on with it.
Yep.
And learned from those mistakes.
Yes.
And now what I'm trying to do is to save people from business
same
owners.
Mistakes. Yep. I get it.
Same mistakes. Because it's very common.
Very.
Little things like not enough cash to meet commitments.
Yeah.
Because they don't look after their debtors and everything. You and I have discussed that before, but if you can't meet your commitments, then you can't pay your tax and superannuation.
Yeah.
If you can't pay your tax and superannuation, you get into debt to the tax department.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really bad thing.
Slippery slide. Yep. And not only that, guys, you're not supposed to trade. If you're a company, a lot of you are. You're not supposed to trade insolvent either, which is another can of worms. Tell me, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field, Mike?
I love what I do.
Yeah, it's a passion.
I get great satisfaction.
It helps, doesn't it? It's not a job, is it? It's a passion.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's right. It's a passion, and I have this ability to see things strategically. Mm-hmm. Some people call it
outside the circle. Yep, I get it.
And I can see things in people's businesses often before they can.
Yeah, they're too close. They don't. They're too close. You can. I mean, I'll give you an example. You see a pizza shop and say, "Mate, it'd be an idea if you put lights on your sign so the people that go past at night can see the sign." And he goes, "Oh, because he's inside by this time. He comes in the daytime, doesn't realise that people can't even see the sign at night time." Little stuff like that, guys. Small stuff, and big stuff. And like as Mike says,
funny you should mention that, because in the shopping centre where we go, there's a big entrance which is covered.
Yep.
And where the shops are, it's a little bit darker. It's not dark, but it's a little bit darker.
Yep.
And the news agent that I always go to is in there.
Yep.
And I actually said to them, you need to have lights outside, because when you walk along the path
walkway,
here, you can't see whether the shop's open or not.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're saying. That
simple stuff. Yeah, common sense. Yeah. Tell me, can you tell us a recent project, Mike, that you're particularly? I'm sure there's been a lot of them that you're particularly proud of, or some of you've done recently that you're one of your achievements that you're proud of. Unpack that for us.
The German pharmaceutical company that I was contracted to, their Australian subsidiary, had a fungicide, which was a safe fungicide.
Yeah.
And I had the job of commercialising it.
Yeah, what was its purpose, Mike? What did it do?
In the old days, we used to treat sugarcane sets.
Yeah.
That's a 6-inch piece of sugarcane that they plant for next year's
Yep.
crop, with mercury
Oh, right.
as a fungal disease control.
Yeah, as before we knew about mercury.
And
Yep.
mercury's bad.
Yeah, like asbestos. Yep.
Yeah, and this fungicide was used to treat sugarcane sets instead of mercury. So it was a really big deal.
So it must have been a big deal.
And,
Especially you guys who don't know, Queensland, like let's talk about Australia coming off the sheep's back. Queensland virtually comes off with Bundaberg and one thing or another, virtually comes off the sugarcane's back, guys. I mean, sugarcane's a huge industry, particularly in Queensland.
Yes, it is.
Looking ahead, Mike, what are your goals and aspirations for the future?
So I commercialized that. I went through all the field trials and the marketing and the labeling and the packaging and the research and everything, and did a good job. And one day they contacted me and said, "We want you to come to Berlin."
Awesome.
For a job interview. They flew me to Berlin and offered me the job to do the same commercialization that I'd done in Australia for the rest of the world.
Wow.
In all their subsidiaries.
That's an amazing achievement.
We didn't take it because we thought it was the wrong time for the kids.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome job. But
an awesome
the kids
would
have been located in Berlin with no support network.
Yeah.
And I would have been traveling to the various subsidiaries.
Yeah, you'd be flat out, obviously.
Yeah. And anyway, so we didn't do that, but I was very proud of getting that offer.
Yeah, fair enough. So looking ahead, as I was saying, Mike, what are your goals and aspirations for the future, my friend? I guess you want to keep helping people and achieve even more greatness than what you already have.
Very simple, really. I just want to create financial security for the family.
Yeah, and make a difference. Yeah.
Yes. I still want to make a difference.
Yep.
There's a couple of things I'm passionate about. One of them is domestic violence and child abuse.
Yeah.
Even though Helen and I don't have that in our family.
Yes.
Because I'm a pacifist.
Yeah.
I just abhor domestic violence and child abuse.
Sure.
And I know from talking to police and other people that if there's business financial stress, if there's financial stress in the business, there can often be financial anxiety in the home.
Awesome, yeah.
And financial anxiety in the home can lead to the terrible things that
absolutely
that happen, that get on
like
the
flash
news
and flashpoints, Mike. They happen in an instant, right? In like many cases.
Yes, and so I'm passionate about helping people overcome business financial stress.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's easy. I've been there and done that, and I know what to do.
Yeah, that's right.
The things that they stress about in business are really simple.
Yeah.
And I get great satisfaction from overcoming that.
I'd say, Michael, they're simple but not easy, right? Is that a fair comment? They're simple, but you've got to implement them. You know.
Yes.
It's like planting a tree. You don't put the acorn in the ground, guys, and sit back and wait for the tree. It's going to take time and nurturing, and and a few bits and do the right thing, guys. Mike will tell you. Look at McDonald's. They've got 15-year-old kids running $1 million McDonald's stores around the world, and they can't get those kids to clean their bedrooms. But it's all done with systems, and systems will set you free, guys, if you follow them.
Yes,
systems are awesome. Awesome. You don't have to
we
follow
have in-house systems we pass on to clients free of charge.
Yeah, awesome.
Make their life easier.
Tell us, how can our listeners and people watching this, Mike, when I put you across all the different channels, how can people reach out to you and find out more about how you can assist them?
The easiest way is email michael@michaelpalmerconsulting.com.au. That's michael@michaelpalmerconsulting.com.au.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a brand new Facebook group.
Awesome. Pleased to hear that.
Michael Palmer Consulting Business Success Hub.
Lovely.
And
so you're every week you're dropping in hints and tips and letting people know what to do.
Yes, I am.
Great.
There's none there yet because
it's brand new, of course. Yep.
Later too, but
we'll collaborate on that with you and help you in that area. Michael, before you wrap it up, because I've got another meeting on right now, in fact, before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
When I grew up, my mother made sure that I stayed naive, that I didn't know about the wiles of women and life and things.
They sent me to a tech school for the same reason.
And two stories, if I may, very quickly.
Yeah, very quick.
I drove a cab while I was at university part-time.
Yeah, to make some money.
I picked up this lady doctor one night in King's Cross who had been at a function in one of the big hotels.
Yep.
And she walked out on her husband because he did something or said something, and said to me, take me home to Strathfield. I've got £5 on the fridge. I'll give you £5 when we get there.
Yeah.
So we got there and I went to the door to get the £5 and she gave me the £5. Yeah. The fare was £1.17, by the way, so it was a good tip.
Yeah, very rich area, Strathfield, guys. Yep.
And she asked me come in and have a drink and everything. And I had no idea till years later what she meant because I was naive.
Yeah, you thought she meant you thought she meant a drink.
I said no, just because taxi drivers can't drink.
Yeah, that's the one. Plus, you're on a shift and you've got to make some money for uni and what have you. That's why you're doing it.
That's right. But she had other ideas, obviously, that I found out later. Yeah, but imagine if I'd taken her up and then the doctor her husband comes home later, and he's angry and she's angry and everything. you never know what might happen.
Well, yeah, that's
another quick story.
Yeah.
That people don't know about is that I picked up an American tourist one day.
Yeah.
In the taxi, and I befriended him.
Yeah.
And we chatted just the way you and I are chatting. And he said he was lonely, didn't know anybody in Australia. And I said, I go to university, there's always parties, give me a ring.
Yeah.
It turned out that he had shot and killed a taxi driver the night before. The very night before I picked him up, he killed a taxi driver. And he was armed with a Beretta and a shoulder holster while he's in with me.
Yeah.
And when they arrested him, he still had my name and phone number in his pocket.
Wow.
And he told the police that Mike was the only person in Australia that spoke decently to him. The police rang Mum because I lived at home until I graduated. Yeah. And told Mum the only reason your son's alive is because he spoke decently to this guy.
Wow. Yeah. Sounds like that there's a Tom Cruise movie about that. He goes around, he's a hitman. He hires a taxi driver. I don't know if you've seen it or not. He hires a taxi driver and goes around from hit to hit to hit all over the town in the one night. He goes and knocks over a few. So that's the same sort of story, Very interesting.
It's because we were brought up with manners.
Absolutely.
Which
back in the day.
To my attitude to respect and dignity and everything. And it just pays to be respectful for everybody, even criminals.
Doesn't hurt. My favourite two words, I didn't learn much at school, guys, or at life at all when I was younger. I learned two things, though. Please and thank you. And that'll take you a long way. Very simple. Yes. Please and thank you. And back, you don't know about me, Mike. I've given away so far in my lifetime about 9 watches to people close to me. Every one of those watches on the back, I might never have told you this, has one word: integrity. I get that engraved there for them. Integrity. And I say, have a look at the back of your watch and live by that. Because that's all you got. All you got's your integrity. Yeah. Do your best, guys. All you can ever do in life is your best. And have integrity.
That's right.
Mike, it's been a great pleasure. Buddy, reach out to me during the week. I want to have a chat to you. I want to get you up underway and get you started on a few things. So if you haven't got the link, I'll send it to you. Make a booking. Let's have a chat. Let's get this show under the way and get you helping people again, even more than ever before.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
No, it's been a pleasure, my friend. The world needs more people like you. And we may even get you back. We do these regularly. We'll get you back on another one very soon. All right. Got to go, mate. Sorry to cut you short, but I got to go. I got another call on, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye.